Hey, I'm Pops, and I want to talk about A Christmas Story Christmas. I'm a massive, massive fan of the original film. I watch it yearly, multiple times with the subtitles on, know the lines, quote the lines. I didn't bring my leg lamp, but I have a little leg lamp ornament. It's a nightlight, actually, it's about that big. But I have the stuff. I'm so invested in this film. I love it so much because it represents this innocence and pureness and coming of age and making magic happen and struggles during the holidays and conflicts during the holidays and also kids dreaming and imagining things. It's so much fun. I know they did some sort of sequel. I don't even acknowledge that it exists other than that. So when this was announced or kind of came to be, I was very hesitant, but then I realized the original cast is behind it. There's adult Ralphie, Peter Billingsley. He's behind it. I was like, well, let me give it a thought. And then someone I like very much, I think also Pacific 414 also mentioned it. I know others have that they liked it. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Watched it with my first off, I watched a little bit, liked it, liked where it was going. So I'm going to watch it with the wife. We watched it, and it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. It's a good film, a lot of fun. But spoilers ahead on this because there's not a way to talk about the film without really, really getting into a major plot twist because it happens early in the film. All right, so you've been warned, but I can recommend the film. That's all I can tell you. It's just not like the original. It's in the spirit of the original. So the first film, of course, is silly antics, goofiness, flashbacks. The kid gets his tongue stuck on a flagpole, and the Santa scene, and stuff with his family, and it's just there. Well, now you have adult Ralphie. It's in 1970, set in 1973. It's right at Christmas time. He's taken a year off from his regular job. They saved up so he could write a book. You have the big writing scene that's in the original film about being a writer. And he thinks he's so much better than he actually is. The premise is pretty much the same. Ralphie really hasn't changed that much. And then they head to they're discussing all of their plans and their stuff like that because his parents are supposed to be coming to where they are in Chicago. Instead, he gets a phone call from the mom. The old man has passed away. Okay. Now, the old man has passed away in real life. They recast the mom. They brought back the original cast because Ralphie's going to go back to Cleveland Street, right? There's a quick phone call with his brother, Randy, who is overseas. I believe it's in India. But that's the original character that played Randy. But he goes back. So you have Flick, you have Schwartz, you have some other stuff too. We'll get to some of that. And what they did was they kept Ralphie's sort of like imagination daydreaming issue. They keep the connections to the original film when he'll see different photos and different memories. And then, of course, these two characters, Flick has inherited the family bar at the corner down the street. So they're kind of stuck. They didn't get to leave the town. Schwartz in particular is kind of a loser. And if it wasn't for Flick always looking after him and then bantering the whole time and those kinds of things. So it's an excuse to reflect on things. But the premise of the film is about Ralphie going, oh crap, the old man's dead. It's all on me now. There's actual lines that are kind of on the nose about that, especially with his mom, who's like, no, listen, don't get caught up in all the mourning and the grief. I want, your dad would want everyone to have a good Christmas, would want everyone to celebrate and whatever. And it's funny how the old man is sort of like, he's always shown on screen with all of this craziness that he's fighting with, other than like the big leg lamp and the puzzle and those kinds of things. But his legacy is more about how much he did for the family, how much he did for the kids, and gave them a great Christmas. They don't spend time rehashing or trying to redo them for Ralphie's kids because he has two kids who are debating Santa Claus and how Santa Claus can operate. The daughter is extremely cute, but my goodness, I need to get her to a dentist. Adorable kid otherwise, but boy, you need to get her to a dentist. They're great. His wife is great. He's kind of batting above his level, but it's okay. It's fine. It's Hollywood. And he's still trying to pitch his book. His book is like a 2,000-page behemoth book. No one's going to publish. It's overwrought. He's marking off publishers because everyone's telling him no. And that's kind of hanging out there as he's trying to figure out how to give everybody a good Christmas. And of course, there's new bullies. The Bumpuses are still there. The Bumpus Hounds are still there. There's tons of reasons to flashback. It's coming of age for the kids a little bit because they kind of have to figure out how to deal with these bullies. There's a driving when they have to go out to get a tree. Anyway, there's an issue with their car, this old Plymouth, and he has this thing about putting the egg in the radiator because it's always running hot, and the issue with the car. So whereas the old man had issues with the furnace, Ralphie has issues with the radiator in his car. The amount of parallels and care that took with these scenes, and there are actual shot-for-shot parallels as well. There's a scene where Ralphie's getting something out of the mailbox at the end of the film, which is exactly like when he was getting his Ovaltine stuff out of the mailbox in the first film. Very simple example. There's about a dozen or more of those that are done, and you get some of this with the credits. It's heavier because it's about the passing of the dad. It's about how Ralphie has to man up. It's about how Ralphie has to grow up. And can he find his way? He's basically been a failure. He can't write. He's going to have to go back and work his day job. And the whole story is about tapping into who he really is, who his dad really was, the passion to be a good writer, to be a good person, to be a good dad. And it is, if there's a way of being a coming of age for a dad story, that's kind of the best way to explain this. But it's also not a drama. It's not a heavy-handed, bring you down sort of feel. It's definitely a continuation of the first film. It's a lot of fun, a lot of great moments. I think you will enjoy it. It's definitely one for Christmas. I don't think it's on the same level with the first one to be this every year rewatchable thing, because it is a little heavier. It's a little bit more like some other Christmas classics, like It's a Wonderful Life or something, where it's a little more heavier. But not to say it's not good. It's different. Anyway, so you guys can tell me what you guys think. I didn't want to get too far into other spoilers. The lamp's not there, but there's a reference. Okay, spoilers, right? Lots of spoilers. So there's the lamp. He goes in the attic and he'll find the pink nightmare, and he'll find the lampshade. He'll find other things, right? They talk about the flagpole, and they get Schwartz to do something stupid again. And actually, it's probably would have almost killed him if they actually had done this in real life. So God, kids, don't do this stunt at home. Things like that. All the kids get hurt. I mean, it's just it is a lot of fun. And I would enjoy hearing your thoughts on if you enjoyed it or not. So anyway, I don't have a Christmas intake and out, so I have to figure that out. But so we'll go with Old Faithful, My Bob Ross Chill. Comments, thoughts, if you liked it or not. Yeah, there you go. Christmas Story Christmas.
Ross, all I do is chill. My life is a thrill, for real, Bob Ross. I be too calm for the drama.